Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We have Scratch tonight. I
Oh.
feel privileged.
Yeah.
He's not out in the country, so.
Listening to the light rain on a tin roof tonight. Oh, my man. I know how that sounds. Good sleeping weather.
Exactly. Hey, everybody. We've got a house full already.
I'm hoping that we're able to function here tonight because we have a little tropical system moving in here on top of us tonight. So we're hoping that the weather holds out.
I saw a comment somebody was making. I was just answering. I think it was Teresa, I believe. Yes, we're going to address that in a few minutes.
Yo, 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 Big Bear.
Yes, well, we've got a whole bunch of people coming in, so that's really awesome. And I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit about my day.
Let's give them a minute for everybody to get started here.
Yeah. We had company today.
Well, let's give them a little bit. We still got people coming in. See, YouTube's not working right. It says only 12 is watching. I know there's more.
Yeah, people have been having issues, I think, with that. Several people have made comments about how many is watching and what they see, and the numbers don't match up.
Yeah, the numbers are not matching tonight, so.
That's okay.
We may be buffering a little bit tonight more than usual because we've got weather on top of us here, so y'all just have to bear with us.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yes, Jess, this is what I was fixing to get to before I was interrupted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, today we had company. My daughter, Maggie, and her children, Brianna, Cade, and Abby were here, and then my son, Jesse, and his girlfriend, Patty, were here. And Jesse came in bringing me some largemouth canning jars because he knows I like to can. So I'm going to be able to can our sweet potatoes in those. That's what I designated them right off the bat for sweet potatoes. And then he gave me, I got this set of bowls. There's 3 of them and they're glass. And I like glass bowls. That's mainly what we use around here. Danny pretty much doesn't like to use plastic for anything.
I don't use plastic for nothing except scrap bowls.
So Jesse brought in the bowls and some canning stuff and a birthday cake. Now Jesse cooked for me. My son cooked me a birthday cake, and Patty decorated and said happy birthday. So it was really nice and it tasted good. Actually, it was very good. And then Maggie came in, and Cade, he's 6. Yeah, 6. He just had a birthday. He brought Nana a big, it hangs outside. It's a scarecrow that says welcome, and it went into my herb garden a while ago, or I should have kept it and brought it in and showed you, but it went into the herb garden. It looks nice there. And Brianna, who has a birthday 4 days after Nana, brought this apron, and it's really kind of cute. Got a little cute pocket here. So Nana's going to be doing cooking videos. She saw it and she said, Mom, Nana needs an apron because she cooks a lot. So I'm really thankful.
Asking, is that the Friendship Pyrex pattern?
Let me look. I haven't had time to. Nope. Vintage. Well, yes, it is. It's Vintage Charm by Pyrex. The Vintage Charm pattern. That's what it is. And so I think those will go in the oven and everything, if I'm not mistaken. Usually anything Pyrex does, because I do a lot of oven cooking, and we have a little small toaster oven.
Yeah.
And I use that pretty much. So today I did get some birthday stuff, and this is just one of them. And I'm going to wear this quite often because I just think it's cute. Sorry, Scratch, I am putting your apron to the side.
Yeah,
for my granddaughter, you understand.
Yeah. You want to talk about your waffle thing? Or?
Yes. Danny told me I could have some cast iron if I wanted it. So this is what I ordered. Somebody on Facebook was talking about it, and it's a waffle iron. It's a cast iron waffle iron, and Danny seasoned it for me. So we have a video coming out on that this week. I think he did a video. I
did a video. We hope it comes out.
But we haven't made waffles yet, and that's another video that'll be coming out. We're just trying to decide, do I want to do them in the house, or we want to do them somewhere outside.
We're just trying to make our mind up where we're
going to do it. And what else? Oh, I've got 2 cast iron bread pans coming. because I'm into this cast iron thing. I've been cooking a lot with it, but I've never made bread. And when I saw them, they were on sale this week, and they may still be. Anybody that wants them, they were on sale for like 12 something, right?
Yes.
I think 12.49 or something on Amazon. So if you like cast iron and you want to have bread pans, go for it. Thank you guys for that birthday wishes. My birthday is actually Wednesday. Big Bear's jealous.
Yeah. Scratch, we did not get rain today. We got rain yesterday and last night, and we're getting it probably again tonight. So that system is kind of starting to move in here over us a little bit. So we're going to be getting a lot of rain, which I'll be honest with y'all, this come in at a really good time because we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. But we did get all of our food plots planted. We have videos coming up about all that. And this rain has just hit us at the perfect time.
Grizz said the judge gave his wife a restraining order. She must stay 50 yards away from cast iron. Danny's going to do that. He's going to put me off Amazon if I keep going.
Yeah, if she keeps going on Amazon, I'm going to have to take her off.
Yeah, but he likes cast iron, so he's not going to fuss. We're looking for I'm waiting till it goes on sale, the Dutch oven.
Dutch ovens, yeah.
Yeah, when the Dutch oven goes on sale, that's my next purchase.
Yeah, somebody said, who put the 3 thumbs downs? Look, people, that really doesn't bother me. When somebody puts a thumbs down, it usually means you're a jerk anyway. So I don't really worry about it.
Well, it just means we get a little more.
It's just another view. They had to see us to put the thumbs down, so I don't worry about it. Probably just a troll sticking out there.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Because he knows on my show, if you're a troll, you're going to get knocked out.
And I guess B-Lady must have a birthday from what I'm seeing, too.
Yeah, the loaf pans, we're not really sure how one of them there says that we're gonna really like the loaf pans. And I'm thinking that we will. We've never actually baked bread in one, so we're kind of wanting to see how it works out.
Yeah, we're working on that. But we're trying to figure out, how it's going to work, and do I have cast iron scrub? Oh yes, that's the other thing I got.
Oh
I
yes.
ordered that too, the scrubber. I forgot
you could get it and show it to them if you want.
Well, I haven't used it yet. Danny's going to figure out where I'm going to hang it, because I've got a little hook thing and I want to hang that up, and so I'm really going to enjoy that. I keep my egg pan where I don't have to do any scratching or anything, but when I cook other things that stick, I need it. But my egg pan stays really perfect, and that's mainly what we're having. I
think Scratch, you're gonna really enjoy putting out the peas in the line. I think it's gonna be a real big success. We planted our peas 4 days ago, and they're already 3 inches tall today because the rain hit them at the perfect point for the food plot. So I think you got yours in ahead of the rain. I haven't seen a video of it yet or not, but I looked a while ago to see if you had one. I didn't see one, but I was hoping you got all your stuff in before this rain came in. And yes, the scrubber thing, we're hoping that the scrubber thing works perfect on the cast iron.
Yeah.
It did for Patera.
Yeah, and the cornbread, I make all my cornbread in cast iron. I have, like I showed y'all, the little round one, the small round one, I make little bitty things, and I have a medium one that I make bigger, and then I have the 8 triangles that I make cornbread. And if I'm going to make dressing or something, I use my big, like, 10-inch skillets, and I make a big thing of cornbread, real big, thick cornbread, and then I make dressing out of that.
Yes.
So,
somebody said, yes, let us see the cast iron scrubber, please. So go get it.
Y'all, give me a second.
I'll give her a second. I want to take this opportunity also to tell y'all we're staying so busy being it's time for fall. And I have developed this, what they call kaleidoscope eye from looking at the screen so much. I may not get everybody's questions answered on our channel, so just bear with us as we try to get answers to some of the questions on our channels.
We read all the comments.
We read them all. It's just Wanda reads them to me a lot of times because of my eyes.
And I answer as many as I can, but if it's just y'all are doing great, or I may just give you a thumbs up and keep going, because sometimes it gets overwhelming. This past 2 weeks has been.
Okay, here we go.
This is it's like a chain, a bunch of chains, if you can see that. I'm hoping that's going to come through pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's got a little round washer looking thing on the end, but that's to hook it
That's
and
to
hang
hang
it
it
up
by,
so it'll
yeah.
dry. And you take this and you just rub it around and it pulls that off without scratching. And how it does it, don't ask me because it's a chain. But Tara says it works wonderfully. And when I saw them, I had to have one. So I got it too.
Yes, Mike, if we get the Dutch oven, it will be the one with the legs on it because that's the kind that I really want.
And I want the one that has the lid that's indented where you can put coals on the
Yes.
top. I don't want the round.
Yeah, we have the round top one. We want the one for the coals in the top.
Yes, because we do have that other one. But,
Yes, okay, yes, the chain link thing cleaner, it is made with stainless steel, Teresa.
Yes.
It's very, very good looking thing.
And I can't remember, maybe 10 or 12 bucks. I don't remember the price exactly. It wasn't too bad. So I think that would be a good investment if you're using cast iron, because
using cast iron it is.
I have a time getting it clean if something sticks in spots, and you have to really, you don't want to scratch your surface off, and this doesn't take the surface off.
Right.
So.
Okay, couple of things. We got enough people in the room now. I want to mention, I had asked y'all a couple of weeks ago to pray for Rick from Two Country. He was having some health issues and he was getting in pretty bad shape. Well, Rick finally contacted me this week because he's still in the hospital. They really wasn't expecting him to make it, according to what he told me. He said they really thought I was going to check out. So he told me that the guys that work for him there said that their YouTube channel just blew up with comments from YouTube, from prayers and stuff going up from where we mentioned it on our live stream here, and he was just thanking me. Of course, he was short of breath while he was talking to me, but he was thanking me for everybody that went to his channel and offered up prayers, and I'm telling y'all, he's still not out of the woods. He was saying that he might get out this week. He wasn't 100% sure. Rick's got a lot going on. Rick has cancer. He has brain cancer. I hope you don't mind me mentioning this. And he has a serious heart valve condition. And I think the heart valve condition is actually what happened to him over the reason he had to go into the hospital. But he was upbeat and he was extremely excited about the prayers and everything he got from all y'all sending up prayer requests to him. And I want to thank y'all for that. And please don't forget to continue to pray for him. If you keep going to his channel, that's at Rick at Two Country, and tell him you're still praying for him because he's not out of the woods yet.
It's TOO, Two Country. TOO Country. He hasn't got but 1 or 2 videos up. He was just getting started with some things.
Yes.
And y'all were a blessing to him. So anybody that takes their time to go over there and tell him you're still praying for him, because he was in the hospital a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But we're praying that he got out.
Yeah, and also, I don't know how many of y'all watch Appalachia's Homestead, but Patera, her husband is in the hospital tonight. He is having to have a heart procedure done the first of the week.
Tomorrow,
Actually, no, I'm sorry, it is tomorrow.
They said tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I thought it was unusual, but it was on Sunday. They said they're going to be doing a heart procedure and on him. I don't know a lot of the details about it, but I'm sure that Patera, her husband, and all the kids, especially the boys, she said would really appreciate the prayers if y'all could send them some prayers over to their channel, because that's her man, and if there's a problem with her man, then it's going to affect her and her whole family. So Patera and us are real close. We're real good friends, and I just want to ask y'all. I know this is our live stream, but sometimes I get a little serious, and this is one of my serious moments. To always remember them in your prayers also.
And just keep her husband and the doctors and the surgeons and all in your prayers tomorrow, because that's what she was asking. That everybody remember the doctors and surgeons, I can't even say it now, the surgeons.
Yeah.
And then remember Starry. Starry is getting a little better.
Yeah.
Her rash is going away, I think. and she's actually talking better. Story needs to stay in your prayers too, because she's got a long road to go, but she is healing.
Yes, Songbird, it is Rick. It's not Rick at Two Country, it's just Two Country. His name is Rick.
Yeah, the channel is called Two Country, but his name.
Yeah, his name is Rick.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get that out of the way up front. We had enough people in the room that I thought maybe would be a good time to go ahead and do that. It says there's 179 watching, so I'm not really sure if that's 100% accurate or not. But I felt like it was enough people. Okay, moving on. We got our poll on our cane mill this week. We got a video coming up about that. We're getting ready to start squeezing our cane. We're probably going to go ahead and do that, even though it's not really time. But so many people are asking about so many questions about the cane mill and about what we're doing that we may decide to go ahead and harvest a few stalks and show y'all how it's squeezed and stuff like that, so that you can kind of get an idea how the cane mill works. So we are going to be doing that this coming week, hopefully if the weather permits. And wanted to let y'all know that. We just want to talk about a few things that we've been doing this week and today on the homestead. I mean,
yeah, and
I've been shooting acoustic in we have a room on our barn that we're turning into a woofer room, and I went in today and shot the acoustics in there. Well, actually, I shot the acoustics yesterday.
American Homestead's wanting to know that he heard the old cane mills have lead bushings and that you need to replace them. So is that true?
All old mill, the ones we have has a lead tin alloy bushing that goes in them. We actually found the original bushing material that goes in them, and that's actually what we put back in ours, because I don't think there's enough lead. Actually, the way the mill is made, any lead particles from it really can't get into the juice. Because of the way the mill is made on the inside, it actually has catch basins on the inside of it that would hold any kind of lead or anything like that. I mean, I'd be more worried about the grease out of the bearings and all getting into my syrup than I would the actual lead, because there's actually almost no way it can get into the juice the way it's made.
Yeah, and South Georgia Hydroponics says don't get in a hurry. The cane comes in when it comes in. That's true. We have to go through a process here, so.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was going to wait till we got to the cane, to the.
You can skip ahead.
I'm gonna skip ahead. Let me just explain to you a little bit about sugar cane. Now, sugar cane and sorghum, because people are asking this on the channel constantly, and I'm just going to take this opportunity, instead of me having to answer it online. Sugarcane and sorghum are two totally different things. Mm-hmm. Sugarcane is a rhizome. It does not grow from seeds. Sorghum grows from seeds. Sorghum gets about as big around as your finger and gets tall and skinny, kind of like a corn stalk, and it has a head on it full of seeds. Sugarcane will get as big around as your wrist or your arm, and it'll grow 6 and 8 and 10 feet tall, and there's a whole process with sugarcane. You have a specific tool that is used to strip the cane with, and we'll be showing you that process whenever we do it. There's a particular tool that you strip the cane with. It's got about a 4-foot handle on it, and the cane is stripped first, and then you wait 2 weeks, and then you go in and you top it, and then we usually wait 2 more weeks and we cut it down. The reason we do all this is simply because the less water is in your sugar cane, the less amount of cooking time you have when you make syrup. If you was to strip it and top it all in the same day, then you would have so much water in it that you would have to cook for hours on end in order to be able to get all the water out of it. Because actually what you're doing when you make syrup is taking the water out of the juice and leaving the sugar behind, which is in a syrupy form, to make sugar cane. Now, I have made sugar this way. I've made syrup this way. And if you want something that's a good bowel mover, just drink the cane juice itself, and it will give you a clean out like you've never had. So so that's a little bit about the sugar cane. Now, and remember, it takes two different mills. You have to use a completely different mill to do sorghum than you do to do sugar cane. Because sorghum's it's a lot smaller and it's a lot harder. So.
We have children in the house. Brianna likes my apron.
Oh, Brianna likes your apron. Okay.
And Maggie tell Cade that I hung his scarecrow that says welcome out in my herb garden, in case he didn't hear me a while ago. And I want to thank you guys for coming today because I enjoyed it. Danny wondered, can we have a prayer list
where you give a minute to type out the names of our loved ones in need before we close in prayer tonight? Yes, we will try to make sure we do that.
And I also saw somebody put up Rena and Alex, and I don't remember who put it up, but they want to add Rena and Alex to that list.
Also, yes.
Yes, we should do that before we go to prayer.
Old as Dirt wants to know, do you tap maple trees here for maple syrup? No, we do not, because we do not get cold enough weather here to be able to do that.
We have one sugar maple.
I have one sugar maple on my property here. They said would not live. I brought it from up north down here, and they told me it wouldn't live, but it has. Of course, the top's trying to die in it because of the heat. But
probably, what, 10, 12 years old?
About 10 to 12 years old. Yeah, it's about 10 inches in diameter.
But it doesn't get cold enough and fast enough here that the leaves don't turn red like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They just turn brown and fall off.
Teresa says sugar cane puts me in mind of bamboo. My sugar cane, I guess you could say it does look a little bit like bamboo, but it'd be the big bamboo, it'd be the large bamboo, because my sugar cane gets as big as your arm up here.
Some of it gets really big.
Teresa says you can tap sycamore as well for syrup. And we have lots of sycamores here, but I've never heard of anybody using sycamore.
We might have to check into that. Do we have any on our property?
No.
Not on ours, but further down south, I know there's a lot.
Okay. With all the HFCs, it doesn't taste sweet anymore. Roy said faces. Yes, true.
Talking about the sugar.
Yes.
The sugar cane I'm talking about.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
I'm trying to make sure I don't miss a comment, y'all.
What are we back to? Our jungle peanuts.
Yes, the jungle peanuts. We were sent some, as you saw in the video, we had a YouTuber who sent us some.
Jen sent us some from JM
at the
Nut House, and we planted them, and she didn't know, but she sent us a package the day we put up the video with the jungle peanut. She had been asking us how they were doing, and we told her we had a video coming up, but we put that video up that day. She sent another package with more of the jungle peanut, so we do have a supply for next year, and plus I'm wanting to make peanut butter.
Yeah. So. Somebody wants to know, what is the growing time for sugarcane? The growing time for sugarcane, it usually pops out of the ground here in about mid-March, and as a rule of thumb, we try to do it somewhere around Thanksgiving. Or we like to have a couple of frosts on it, but a freeze will ruin sugarcane, so you have to have it cut down before it actually freezes.
Yeah. And
do we sell any of the wooden utensils shown in the dining room? I am working on them now. We're trying to get them up and get them ready so that we can put them on our Etsy channel for Christmas time for people if they need them for Christmas gifts. So I am working on them. We haven't got them done yet, but we're going to.
Yes, it's one of those issues with the blades on the saw. What kind of saw is it?
Oh, it's a bandsaw. My blades keep breaking where the companies put them together at, so I'm fixing to start trying to put them back together myself. So.
And he's got a bunch cut out. It's just finding the time to finish them in between all the other things that he's doing. So we're working on those things to get them on Etsy.
Okay, Brad says, how far north can you grow it? I'm not really sure. It needs a long growing season. I know that. It just depends on, you can't be where it freezes real early. It can frost, but not freeze on
it. Sugar cane is easily to grow. Not take up root up north. Yes, as long as it doesn't get frozen. That's true.
Yeah, as long as the roots don't freeze in the ground.
If sugar cane is a rhizome, is it a
Yes,
perennial?
it is a perennial. It will come back for up to 3 years. After the third year, you want to redo the patch and start all over again because it gets too bundled up and too cluttered up and it just really doesn't grow good.
Okay, now the jungle peanuts, he's got to get back and tell you
Okay,
about.
growing season for jungle peanuts. They want to know when that is. All I can tell you is where we live at. I'm not going to tell you where you live at because I don't know about where you live at. But here, our growing season, we plant our jungle peanuts in about the middle of March, and we'll let them have at least 120 to 150 days in the ground before we actually dig them. So that's what we go by.
Yeah, because you can't really tell. The
Nope.
plant stays pretty and green, so it's hard to tell when they're, because I was looking at that too. We had a lot of people ask, how do you know? You just keep up with the dates.
You got to write the date down when you plant them and look on your calendar, count 120 to 150 days, and then they should be ready to dig at that point.
Yeah, and we had issues with some critters, all kinds of things.
Yes.
My cookbook is gluten-free, but it does have some regular recipes, but I tell you how to change them, and it is on our Etsy store.
Yeah. The cane fields in Hawaii are huge and last years, but they burn them to harvest. Yes. And one of the things I want to tell you all about sugarcane is most of your commercial sugarcane crops now are sprayed with Roundup, and the Roundup causes all the fodder to actually die on the sugarcane and fall off, and then they set the fields on fire. And then after they do that, they go through there with the tall tractors and they actually harvest it and cut it down and pile it on the back of these trailers and haul them to the mill. So keep in mind that when you buy this cane sugar, it has been sprayed with Roundup, most of it. Why do they burn the cane fields? They do that to get the fodder off of it because it's too large for people to go through and strip them. Because if you leave the fodder on it when you run it through the mill, the fodder will actually absorb too much of the juice and it clogs up the cane mills.
Yeah. I was trying to remember somebody else.
Sassafras. We actually have a lot of sassafras here too.
And we have lots and lots of sassafras.
Lots of sassafras. I mean, you can't kill a sassafras tree.
And it makes some awesome tea, and it has a lot of good medicinal properties too. So we're not going to lack in sassafras here.
Right. We shouldn't have any problem with that. Now, I want to go ahead and move ahead on the peanuts unless y'all continue to have some more questions about them. I'll try to watch and answer them as I go through. The next thing I wanted to bring up was our video this particular week about porch time. Well, before I get there, somebody's asking me, is the sugar now safe to eat? It's going to have some Roundup residue in it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Roundup has been known to affect the kidneys in people later in life if you eat a lot of stuff that's been sprayed with Roundup. But not only is your sugar cane sprayed with Roundup, all your wheat's been sprayed with Roundup, all your beans, soybeans, all that stuff now is sprayed with Roundup to get the fodder off of it. Your oats, I have called all the companies. I'll go ahead and tell you, I've called Quaker, I've called Bob's Red Mill, I've called, you just name it. I've called all these companies about their oats, their wheat, and all that stuff, and none of them will guarantee me, even though they say organic, they will not guarantee me that it has not had Roundup sprayed on it to defoliate it before it's harvested. I will go ahead and tell you all that. So
somebody wanted to know, would you have any of the roots of the sugar cane, I'm assuming, to sell? If not, they may be talking about sassafras, because somebody else wants to know, can sassafras trees be grown in colder areas?
Yes, sassafras will grow in colder areas.
So,
sugarcane, with sugarcane, you don't pull the roots up to sell the roots. You actually take the stalk itself and cut it up. The stalk has eyes on it, and the eyes are what you grow sugarcane from.
yes. So maybe we're going to move on to...
Now I want to move on to my porch time. The porch time that we did this week was a continuation on what in the world is going on. And my friends, my porch time this week is probably going to be even more interesting because I'm going to tell y'all what, there is there has so much happened since my last porch time that we need to talk about. It's just mind-boggling to me at the rate in which things are happening in this country. And I'm probably going to continue. It won't be called the same thing, but it's going to basically be on the same subject. Um, I'm really concerned about the way things are starting to go in our country. I guess that's why I set aside this time for porch time, is to just basically just throw out there to y'all some of the things that's being showed to me. And I'm a little bit concerned about people who spend and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to have to go ahead and say it because y'all wanted me to be honest with you. And if honesty is what you want, then I'm just going to give you honesty. If you don't like it, you can click off now and go somewhere else because it's not really going to hurt my feelings. But the honest thing about it is I get so many people talking to me and telling me, says, well, I would prepare more than what I do, but you don't understand. We have ball games. We have this going on. We have to be at this event. We have to be at that event. If that's the way you feel, then, you know, when the life-changing event happens and you're sitting there doing without, don't complain to anybody because you're blowing the opportunity to prepare for yourself. Because I'm going to tell y'all, the time is really beginning to get short on being able to prepare because there's some events took place in this country this week that I'm going to be talking about on Porch Time this week that is just devastating. And it's just the tip of the iceberg as to what's actually starting to happen in this country. You know, I mean, in my porch time this week, I'll probably just be brutally honest about some things. And I'm not a fear monger. I'm just one of these kind of people. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And if somebody don't like it, then you know what? Don't call me. Don't call me when something happens. You know. And I don't mean to sound rude, but that's just basically the way it is. I mean, it literally shocks me as to some of the things I've seen happen this week, as to how it ties in with some of the biblical prophecy that actually is taking place. And I'm amazed at how God's word just magnifies itself to me. So
yes, let me tell Terry, yes, go ahead and send those, Terry. She's asking, can she send some links? And yes, she can send them our stuff. Yes, we try to look at every link that people send. Some of them we've already seen before. Some of them are new to us. And we may not read every word of it, but we understand the gist. And if it's something that we've already seen, we just kind of, but we are keeping up with everything. And people have let us know a lot about a lot of things that's going on. And it really is kind of sometimes overwhelming, but
it does get to be overwhelming. But you know, I mean, we have these people who sit back.
Afraid. We want them to be.
Yeah, we don't want people to be afraid, but we have people who sit back and go, well, if times get bad and a life-changing event happens, we're going to your house, Danny. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Don't show up at my door because you're not going to be welcome. Because if I've told you to prepare and you didn't prepare, don't come to my house. I'm just being honest because if you've wasted your time, it's kind of like I'm going to go into this on my porch time about the parable of the 10 virgins and how 5 of them brought oil to have enough and 5 of them didn't, and then they wanted to borrow their oil, and the Lord told them, no, go back and get you some more. And then when they came back, the event was over. That's kind of the way it's going to be when a life-changing event takes place. If you've had time to prepare and you haven't done it, then you have no right to go to anybody else and beg them for stuff when you yourself have had every opportunity in the world to prepare. And yes, the grasshopper and the ant, I agree completely. The Bible talks about that. Talks about why sleepest thou, O sluggard. It talks about the ant. Doesn't have a leader, but yet it gathers in the summer and stores for the winter. So I mean, you know, a lot of people look at me and go, well, you sure are a cold-hearted individual. No, I'm not cold-hearted. It's just that I believe in being able to wake up, pay attention, get your ducks in order, and do what you need to do. Because if you don't, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Yes. I'm just reading the
Oh, you're reading. I
comments.
thought you were fixing to say something to me. I have to watch out when I get on a rant. I get
Yeah, I'm sitting here, but everybody's saying they agree with you. A lot of people they sit back and wait, and they do say, I'll just run to Danny and Wanda's. I know what they've got, you know. Yeah, we do have a lot to eat, but if we have 75 people show up the first day, we can't feed them for months.
I'm not going to. I mean,
you know, that's food we put aside for us to eat, and we will, you know.
Yeah.
We do have some family. We do agree with that, but yeah. So,
but you have to understand too, our place is completely guarded. We have cameras set up all over our place. Not only to watch for wildlife, because that's one of the things we try to do, is to watch for wildlife and see when and where it's moving on our property at all times, but it's also for security reasons. We also know if we have a trespasser or anything like that, and we have cameras. I mean, I don't even know how many we have now. It's done got to be so many that I've done lost count of, but they set up on our property everywhere, and they will be set up there.
Grandpa said if you're going to Danny and Wanda's, you better bring lots of guns. Well, we anticipate that eventually, that if the government or somebody sends somebody in, yeah, we won't be fighting them, but
I'm
we're not
no.
going to give up easily.
No, but I mean,
we're not going.
If you come here, I'll tell you what the bottom line is. I've run a business. I've run a business for 26 years. I actually ran 3 businesses, and if you come here,
you work,
and you expect to get anything from me, your behind will be working. You'll be up at daylight. My daddy always had a saying, and y'all heard me using it on some of my porch times before. We get up when it's daylight enough to see how to go to work. We eat when we get hungry, and any fool can tell when dark comes. That's kind of my theory in life. So if anybody shows up at my door, you better plan on working. That's just a thumbs up. I'll just go ahead and tell you now.
Yeah, pretty much. But he does have another one coming. So, and somebody asked about your Bible channel, your Bible study channel. We're still contemplating that.
I'm seriously looking into that. I have some feelers out, and you know, I kind of watch the responses I get on some of the things that I say. I throw certain words out, and I throw certain phrases out because that's what I do. To see the feedback and the responses I get. If I actually think it's worth it, then I will do it. But if not, then I won't.
Grandpa says that doesn't work in Alaska because dark never comes.
I agree. For 6 months out of the year, you don't have any dark.
You just have to go to bed tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got several people wanting me to do the Bible study thing, so we're trying to move on with some of that, and books is another thing.
Songbirds want to know, is there a company that makes water filters that takes radiation out of the water? Not that I'm familiar with. I do know about the spill in Florida, and honestly, if those of you who live in Florida, especially southern Florida, because the aquifers do flow south, from where this tragedy happened down there, I feel for you. I mean, me personally, I'd just get out of there. I'd leave. I mean, I'd just move somewhere else. You know, I mean,
yeah.
That radiation getting into that water from that fertilizer company is not going away.
Thank you, Wee Tree. I was going to contact you and I think Kitty and Amanda about putting the info out there, like how to reach us. So our moderators, especially Wee Tree, I see, is putting out, if you need to get in touch with us, she's giving you our website, she's giving our email, and our Etsy store. So off and on, she will put that out there for you guys.
Yes, Living Really. Distilling would remove radiation because of the distilling process. I could see where steam distilling, let me say that, not just necessarily distilling, but steam distilling might take it out. And yes, the iodine tablets will keep you from getting thyroid cancer from the radiation in the water, yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Please tell me where the Florida was. Tell me where in Florida. Okay, it was just outside of Miami, Florida, is where this water spill. I mean, where this.
Not Miami. It was.
No, it was right outside of Miami.
Tampa.
Tampa. I'm sorry.
It was Tampa.
Right outside of Tampa, Florida. Yes.
I have a niece that lives there, and it's just outside of Tampa. Yes. All right, we up to the next video.
Okay, where are we at here?
Over.
I guess unless somebody throws something up and I feel like I have to.
That's okay. How can we say thanks? That was one of our videos.
Yes.
Jen sent the box and we opened it up, and we had gotten the things that we've mentioned in previous live streams that we wanted to just put in there with Jen's. Like Amy had sent the cast iron skillet and the pins from Mark and things like that, and then the plaques back here from Kate.
Kate.
And Starry actually showed her plaques this week too on
Yes.
her thing, and they are beautiful,
They're beautiful.
guys.
They're really nice. Kate did a
So we
very
wanted to
good
thank
job.
all those people for sending things, and then Jen sent that box, and I was just overwhelmed. I mean,
Yes.
4.5 pounds of candy corn, and y'all, almost a pound of it's gone. I'm sorry. And Danny had to vacuum seal.
I had to vacuum seal some quart jars of that candy corn and put it up so she wouldn't eat it all.
Yes, he did. And so I have candy corn along with Scratch's pecan.
Yeah, pecan pralines. We have them vacuum sealed.
They're vacuum sealed, so I won't eat them. So that was pretty awesome. Jen takes care of me, and I'm drinking her tea, by the way.
Yep.
This is my jasmine green tea. It's become a thing with me to drink the green tea every week.
Okay, you got some people in here that's a lot more intelligent than I am about the radiation stuff. So if they've got some good information, y'all, then I would probably heed to it.
Yes.
I would give. It kills me that I can't really give out a lot of my sources because I have sources that I actually cannot. I've made promises to some of these people that I will not give out my sources because they're not supposed to be giving me the sources. So some of them I won't give out. I'll just go ahead and tell you all that.
All right, our mailing address, Wheattree, it's P.O. Box 462, Wiggins, Mississippi 3977.
395.
39577.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is also listed on our About page. What?
Grill says if you drink enough vodka, you won't need to worry about radiation.
Exactly. But yes, if you can't find our address, it is on our About page.
It's on our About page, yeah.
Yes.
That's our P.O. box. Everything everything gets sent to our P.O. box.
Yes. If you're a refugee from Florida and have nowhere to go, now's the time to ask for help. Yes, people leaving out of there, I guess.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all that the place is contaminated now. I would definitely consider, if I was ever going to move, this would be the time.
Amanda's Garden, she said she's a certified Class C water operator. She's licensed by the DEP in Florida, so she should know water.
Yeah, she should know our water. So if y'all got questions, contact Amanda's Garden.
And she is in Florida, so she should be able to help anybody that lives in that area that needs to have any information. And we do like giving out, if you guys don't mind, when you tell us you know something, if we can help others by connecting you guys. That's how we started our channel, was trying to connect people and joining a community. And we feel like we have a great community here, and we're trying to put people together that need to get. We've had several people asked about different places, and we like to tell them that there's people in your area so that they can find those people.
Yes, and somebody was mentioning about the gas leak that's taking place up in outside of Birmingham.
Yes.
Yes, that's going to affect the whole East Coast up through there because of gas prices. And people, let me just say, it's a series of small things. I have to watch what I say on here because I don't want to mess up our channel. It's a series of small things that are going to be happening in this country that's actually going to lead to the demise of it. Because throughout history, no country's ever lasted over a few hundred years as a rule of thumb. Usually they die from the inside out, kind of like cancer when it affects the body. It doesn't start out real big to start with. It just starts out at little things here and there, and as time goes on, it begins to grow and it weakens the person. The demise of a country is basically the same way. I might have to be careful because I'm gonna get into my porch time.
Yeah, y'all be heard his porch time before porch time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda's Garden says it actually happened 3 weeks ago, but it's just coming to the surface yesterday. So I'm
Yes.
assuming she's talking about the Florida
Yeah, the Florida thing.
thing.
Yes.
Yes.
It did. It
I
actually
think
happened
I
several
saw
weeks
that
ago.
earlier too.
Yeah. It's just that I don't usually put anything out until I'm 100% sure of what actually happened, because
Yeah.
you got all those gatekeepers out there on the media that that keep the real news from coming out when it actually should come out because they're afraid of panic, and they don't want to panic, so they'll wait till they kind of get things started under control and then they'll let it leak out.
Yeah, and we've seen so many people jump out and say things, and then it's not really true because Facebook is like 100% really good about people throwing out stories that they see, and everybody shares it. And when you go and look, those stories may be 2 or 3 years old, and nobody pays any attention to the date. They just see it, that it says something that they don't like, and they go posting it. And I've got caught several times with those type stories. So now, anytime I see anything, especially on Facebook, I go look for myself and I look at dates.
Yeah.
And I would recommend most anybody to look at dates of when it happened on any story you look at, because it's gotten really, really bad.
Yeah. Yes. Somebody asked a question: should the water in North Florida be safe to drink? If it was safe before this happened, it should still be safe. I mean, I don't see where the aquifers are usually draining out into the Gulf.
Yeah.
And out into the Everglades down there where this happened at. So unless you live south of it, I really wouldn't be concerned about what happened.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
We're up to preparing your food plot.
Yes, we have now, all of our food plots are now planted on our property here. We got them all in right before the rain. So they are coming up and doing extremely well. We're looking forward to a fantastic hunting season. And one of the reasons that we put this food plot up was to show people how to plant a food plot. So many people just go out hunters, I've hunted with lots of guys before who just go out and throw seeds on the ground and talk about how they plant a food plot. Well, you're not going to get a substantial food plot. Now, I know that they make what's called no-till seeds to throw on the ground and make food plots out of, but when you make a food plot, you want to basically plant what the animals in that particular area eat. It'd be kind of like me here going out and pouring apples on the ground and expecting to kill a deer over them. It's not going to happen, because deer here don't eat apples because there are no apple trees anywhere. They eat honeysuckles and peas and stuff like that. So that's kind of why we did the food plots that we did. They eat ryegrass and things like that.
Yeah, and somewhere where people have a lot of apple trees. Now, we have an apple tree or two.
Yeah.
But if you have an orchard and that's what grows in your area, those deer
will come to them. Yeah, because when I hunted in Connecticut, New York, and all up there, Massachusetts and all those places, I hunted in apple groves because that's what the deer ate, and I killed a lot of deer that way. But down here, there are no apple groves.
It's persimmons, acorns.
Yes.
What else we got? Chinkapins, all these things
Yeah.
that the deer love to eat. That's what they're going to be eating here, plus our peas and greens.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to be it.
Somebody wants to know, can you tell about the crochet square that was sent to Amanda at Freedom?
Yes, I don't know if she's got it yet. I sent it one day this week, so she should, if she hadn't got it, she will get it. I did just an average square about, I don't know, how big is that?
Probably about, she did one about 6 by 6 or 8 by 8, somewhere in that area.
Something like that, and I started with maroon, then I did some gray outside it, and then I finished with, I did a maroon strip in the middle, gray around it, another maroon strip, more gray, and then ended with a maroon. So mine is maroon and gray.
Somebody's asking, have I ever planted barley here? I've not ever planted barley, but I do plant millet. I have planted wheat when I could get the wheat that's not GMO, or not GMO, but hybridized wheat. So I basically just stick with ryegrass and peas and greens and stuff like that. And Brenda saying she loves the persimmons. Yeah, we love persimmons too.
But we like the big ones, not those little ones. Amanda must have got it and did a video. We haven't been watching a whole lot of videos the last few days, so I have to go check hers out. So I will. She said she did it today. Yeah, I've been busy all day. I haven't seen much anybody's done today. And that brings me to Amanda. She did our frugal family food. She put it out Friday, and she did a really awesome job with hers. So y'all check out Amanda at Freedom Acres. She did, I can't remember, what did she cook? She did a lot of vegetables. I do remember that. It was a casserole, I think. And I watched it, but so much has happened since then I can't remember because I'm working on mine. Y'all check me out this Friday. I'm doing the Frugal Family Food Harvest to the Table.
Yeah.
And I did a oops moment today because I was in a hurry and doing things and trying to video and then found out the kids were coming and I did a oops moment. So y'all just be waiting for mine because I gotta see if I can fix it and correct it or just leave it as is and y'all get what you get.
Somebody mentioned that the emmerweed is still original. Yes, the emmerweed is what we try to plant here on our homestead. And Yankee, I think it was, I'm trying to keep in my mind these questions or comments. It's talking about in Maine, they're not allowed to plant food plots to hunt over. There is some places that you can't. You can plant food plots here, but they have to be classified as agricultural, like an agricultural product. You cannot disc the ground and go out there and throw corn on it. That won't work. You actually have to plant just like you were planting a field.
Yes, and they love anything we plant, so they were in it. Danny planted it. We went over there and planted it one evening and went back the next morning, and the deer had walked right through where he'd planted.
Yeah, they'd already been in it. So we're back check today. The peas are 3 inches tall, so and the turnip greens is all coming up, and the tender greens and all that, so they're all doing good. So that's good. And Nikki was asking what happened in Florida. Nikki, there was a sinkhole in outside of Tampa, Florida, that dumped a bunch of radiation from a fertilizing company into the aquifer in the ground.
Some type of chemical from the fertilizer company, yeah.
Yeah, baiting is like shooting ducks in a barrel, but the problem with South Mississippi is, down when you live in South Mississippi, the woods are so thick you have to have a bulldozer to go through the woods down here because you're not going to walk through the woods in South Mississippi. And down here, the only way you can hunt a deer is to plant a food plot and pray or chop a trail through the woods and pray that you catch him walking through the woods on that trail or over a food plot because you're not going in the woods down here in South Mississippi and shoot a deer without a food plot hardly.
Yeah, and baiting deer is actually
they're two different things.
Planting a food plot.
That's a good point, Grandpa. Planting a food plot and baiting deer are two totally different things. It's illegal in South Mississippi to bait deer and hunt over them. Hunt over bait.
Okay.
When is bow season our place? It starts October the 14th, Parrish.
And we're not going to get through tonight, I know, but Danny, your second book, is it in
progress?
Hold on.
There was a question asked to me a while ago, and we're going to go ahead and do it. We promised them we would do it. Anybody who has prayer requests tonight, please put your prayer request up on the screen.
Yes, start doing
so that, go ahead and start doing it so people have time to write them down before we run out of time here, because we've only got like 5.5 minutes left before Zach comes on, and I want to make sure I get that out there so that everybody can see your prayer request before prayer time.
Okay, they're asking about the second book, and they say I need to write a cookbook. I did with old Southern recipes. That's basically what I put in, but I may have to, I've got a few more, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do another cookbook for about probably close to a year. It's going to be a while before I do a second cookbook. It takes so much. But Danny's second book, we're not sure exactly which direction we're going with it yet.
I have two more different books that I'm in the process of wanting to write, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to put out first.
Yeah. And if you guys have suggestions, put them down and we'll,
if you tell me what you want, what kind of book you'd rather I put out first, then I will try to get that book out first.
Okay, so Brenda wants us to remember her and her family. They've got a hard year. Terry says Grace at Big Family Homestead. Wayne, I'm assuming Wayne's Country Living, Grandpa's putting there. Melody,
sick over 2 weeks. The
all the people in
Floridians,
Florida, all the people in Georgia and South Carolina.
Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, that whole East Coast up through there. Not only for the gas pipe leak, but also because of all the storms that's going to be coming in there.
And to these people that are like Louisiana, there's a storm. It's just like a rain system out there right now, but
Yeah.
it's coming in. We may get a little bit of it. We still have a rain system off the South Carolina
Yeah.
out there. Then there's another one coming in. So just pray that these storms don't get any worse. We're almost out of hurricane season, and we would like to keep it that way with no hurricanes.
Yeah.
Your friend Rick, yes, we
Yes.
want to remember Rick and Starry and Appalachia's husband.
And this other one right here.
Rena and Alex that someone put up. I'm seeing lots of names. I see Lady Hawthorne says a friend of hers, Michael.
Pray for my wife to stay away from cast iron.
Yeah, Danny's going to keep that one in mind too. Big Bear and his family.
Yes. Jason and his family. Yes. Him and Robin and them.
Yes, and Jason was doing better earlier, and we did talk with Jason for a long time the other night. So let's go to prayer.
Let's go ahead and do our prayer. Father, we want to come to you tonight, Lord. We just want to just approach the throne. We want to approach it boldly, but yet in a humble nature, Lord. And Father, we have so many requests that's gone up before us here tonight. And Lord, I have my friend Rick from Two Country. I want to just pray that you be with him through this life event that he's dealing with, Lord, the cancer and all the heart issues and everything. Father, I'd like to see some healing on his body. And for Tara's husband, as he goes through this heart procedure, Lord, I pray that you'll intervene there and that you'll just be with the doctor's hands and guide them as they do this procedure and let him come out and recover. And for her boys and the rest of the family, Lord, as their daddy's down, I just pray that they'll be able to keep up the other end of the deal there, Lord, and keep the farm going. And I pray for Starry and her recovery, Lord, and Father, for Jason and Robin on the homestead there where they're at, and Lord, for this Alex and Rena, and Father, there's just too many of them for me just to mention. I'm just going to have to stop here and say, Father, just look down upon all these on the YouTube channel. Let's put their post up here tonight, Father. You see them. Nothing is hidden from you, and I'm going to ask for healing, peace, and comfort, and financial. Lord, some of them's going to have financial problems. I'm going to ask that you move in and bless them financially and bless them physically, spiritually, Lord. Some of them have spiritual needs, and some of them have emotional needs, Lord, and I pray for all those. And Father, I pray for Grace and that she'll be able to get past this pneumonia thing and get better, Lord. And Father, I pray for this network and this channel. And Father, for those who take the time out to come and listen to this channel, I pray for blessings on their life now. And Lord, I pray for all the people in Florida who's going through this radiation leak, that you would just look down upon them, Lord. And Father, I don't know what the answer is to this. This is one of those times that you speak of that in the Bible, that our water system will be bitter as wormwood, Lord. And could this be the beginning of things to come? I don't know. But we pray for all those people, Lord. And we pray for this gas leak going on up there, Lord, on the East Coast. And some people are already strained financially. And with the gas prices going up, it's going to even be more of a strain on them. And we pray for them, Lord. And Father, I pray for all the things that's happening in this country, Lord. I pray for our country, and I pray for the leaders of our country, and for the men and women who serve this country and give their life for it, Lord. I pray for all those people, and the wives and the husbands who are at home when their loved ones is off on some foreign field, Lord. I just lift them up before you tonight and ask that you watch over them. And Lord, I pray for a hedge of protection to be put around everyone in this channel tonight now. As we all go over to watch Zach and his homesteading channel, Lord, I just pray for blessings for Zach and his family also now. I ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Yes, and you guys, y'all check out Zach. Yes, y'all check out Zach at the Homestead at American Homestead.
American Homestead, y'all.
And check out all the other people that are on the Homestead Network. And go to homesteadnetwork.com.
Good night, everybody, and thank y'all for coming to our channel and listening tonight.